with the NFL and the Vikings. Look, if hindsight is 2020, this is 40-20, right, on the Vikings when they let go of Sam Darnold. Obviously, signed with Seattle, went on to win a Super Bowl, while the Vikings' hopeful quarterback of the future, J.J. McCarthy, he struggled mightily in his 10 starts. But here's the thing. Darnold was asked, did you think that was a good decision? And you would expect most players to be like, yeah, they should never have traded, they should never have gotten rid of me. I proved them wrong. He didn't say that. Take a listen to what he said.
I totally understand the move to go with the younger quarterback on a rookie deal and signing these veteran players that you can maybe pay a little bit more while he's on his rookie deal, especially if you believe in him.
The business side of it.
Yeah, the business side of it, I totally understand. And, like, I think JJ is a good player. I think he's going to be a really good player in this league. I truly believe that.
Damn.
Look, I'm in the era of appreciating when guys are just genuine, right? We had, like, a lot of flashy, swaggy, snark era of athletes, and now it feels like, you know, again, Wemby, very straightforward. Fernando Mendoza, very straightforward. Sam Darnold, very straightforward guy, and so he's not going to do the whole, you should never have done it. That being said, if you had been the GM at the time, Jason, no hindsight, what decision would you have made?
Well, wait, I would rather answer, did you like what Sam did?
No. Did you like him winning a Super Bowl, Jason? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't ask those questions.
It's tough. I mean, I trust Kevin O'Connell. I'm sorry. I don't know. Sam Darnold, was it fluky? Now it doesn't look fluky. At the time, it kind of sort of did. I mean, I know that's not a great answer, but his answer was more mature than mine.
Well, let's get one thing straight. J-Max said that J.J. McCarthy was the next Josh Allen. I made a video about it. I made a whole video about that comparison, and he directly compared McCarthy to Josh Allen, claiming that J.J. McCarthy and this Minnesota Vikings team would be back at the top, and so on. So let's be clear about that particular point. What Sam Darnold accomplished with the Minnesota Vikings was absolutely not a fluke, nor was what he did with the Seattle Seahawks a fluke either. He is a terrific quarterback, he is a wonderful person, and his response to questions is excellent and stands as one of the biggest selling points of Sam Darnold. He is a truly genuine, mature adult. And this is why Colin, everyone always makes fun of him with the hat worn forward and saying the right things into the microphone. Do you think Baker Mayfield would give that same answer? Or would Baker be all petty and say, they should have never let me go? He is still trying to start fights with coaches and everything. And it's just like, grow up, man. Grow up. Before I go any further, Seattle Seahawks fans, please do not forget to subscribe and watch the full length of the video. When you do that, view counts go through the roof. Subscriber numbers go through the roof. It's not about chasing views. It's not about hunting for subscribers. It's about being able to create Seattle Seahawks content that people genuinely want to watch and discuss. That way, we can keep having the most unbiased, grounded, authentic conversations about the Seattle Seahawks. It really does make a huge difference. So I would really appreciate it if you could do that. But yes, this is precisely why it was a smart move for the Seahawks to go out and acquire Sam Darnold. He is a great quarterback and a culture guy, and those things matter. They matter tremendously. And if you recall, there was a game, I think it was probably after the Rams game, the first game, with all the interceptions. You had people flocking to defend Sam Darnold, including players who were so adamant. There was such unconditional confidence in him. And that is culture. That is relationship building. That is remarkable. The Minnesota Vikings tried to do that, and they even had their little fun moment with Sam, dropping balls, and all that, and then they threw him away. And how does that culture in Minnesota look right now? Not good. A lot of unhappy players. A lot of unhappy people. A lot of folks not knowing which direction is which. And we heard reports last year that Kevin O'Connell is kind of losing the locker room, and they didn't even like how they handled Carson Wentz's injury. They were actually on Carson's side, right? It's not that they were angry that Carson was there. They were actually kind of saying, no, we're on Carson's side. And it was just like, oh, things are getting a little strange over there. Then you look at the Seattle Seahawks, and you realize you cannot find a more connected team. Yo. You simply cannot find a more connected team. And you saw that even when a defensive player made a critical crucial mistake, one that I am still upset about. I mean, they almost lost. They almost didn't even make it to the Super Bowl because of it. They almost didn't get to the Super Bowl at all. I am still haunted by it because I thought, oh my gosh, the Seahawks were about to win this game, and now because of that penalty, they're not. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. And yet, they were able to completely endure it and have it not matter in the end. They were able to handle it. They were able to talk it through. They were able to hold each other accountable, make their feelings known, and then keep moving forward. That is culture. That is culture right there. That is culture happening in real time. That is culture in real time. Sam Darnold's answer, that is maturity, and that is the hat forward. Maybe Colin gets too focused on the actual hat itself, but that is the embodiment of the hat forward. And man, when you are talking about having a quarterback be that type of person, I wish there were ways to emphasize just how much that stuff really matters, because it matters so much. It is not everything. You can have that personality and not be a good quarterback, and then it won't matter. But if you are a good quarterback, that makes you a great quarterback. If you are a great quarterback, that makes you an incredible quarterback. That kind of thing just matters. And it's so simple. It really does. It seems like anyone could give that answer. You are right. But many do not. Many certainly do not. And some give that answer as lip service. They just know, okay, I am going to say this because it is the right thing to say. While others, like Sam, actually genuinely feel that way. They genuinely see the situation for what it is. I can guarantee that when the Vikings moved on from Sam, he was obviously absolutely bummed. He was totally disappointed. But I am sure he thought, I understand it, though. I get it. I see how we got here. It makes sense. He takes the emotion out of it and just looks at the logic of the whole situation. So, yes, I also agree with, oh my gosh, I cannot think of her name right now, Rachel, where she was talking about how we were in this era of all this bravado and all this other stuff. And that is why I am excited to see this new wave of people, this new wave of personalities, whether it is Sam Darnold, Mendoza, or others. This is why I love a Sam Darnold answer and why I push back on a Caleb Williams answer or a Baker Mayfield answer. And again, it is not that I have any major problems, especially with Baker, or excuse me, with Caleb. I definitely do not have any issues with him, and I believe in him in his own right. But I am irked by some of the things I see. I am bothered by the grating of the cheese, making the weird face, and when someone said, oh, was that a good throw, and he responded, every throw is a good throw, however he phrased it. I think, oh, you know, from someone who is here for entertainment, I love it because it gives us something to watch and discuss, and it elicits an emotional response. But when I look at it through the lens of am I the coach? Am I the general manager? Am I a player? Am I his friend? I cringe. I think, oh. And I look at Sam and I think, yes, that is the reference. That is the answer right there. And especially when it is genuine, that is why people, speaking of the Seahawks, fell in love with Russell Wilson. I think Russ deserves more credit for being able to walk that line as well. But it started coming off as insincere, and that is when people turned on him. They thought, wait a second, you are one person over here and a different person over there. You have that disconnect, and that is when things can fall apart. But with Sam, it is just right there at face value. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So yes, the Seahawks got a real one, that is for sure, with Sam Darnold. And it is so cool that the payoff did not need to be delayed. It was literally able to be immediate. It is still pretty remarkable what the Seahawks were able to accomplish, right? The team they were able to build, the moves they were able to make. And it is pretty great. It is funny because I made a Rams video a couple of days ago, and I was talking about how you could have used that first pick instead of on Ty Simpson, and gotten another piece to help the Seahawks. All the traditional, stereotypical stuff. And someone said, everyone keeps acting like the Rams are done. They will be able to make a move at the trade deadline or even before the season starts. You think they are done, but they are not done. And my response is, well, in the middle of the season, they did not do anything that measurably put themselves in a position to be better. The Seahawks did. The Seahawks made that move, and it did ultimately help put them on the path to winning the Super Bowl. So, I still think that the Seahawks, unfortunately, since we move so fast with these things, it is already over. The Super Bowl is already finished, and you do not get any more credit for it anymore, right? We skip over those achievements, and unfortunately, if you do not repeat, it will just be, lightning in a bottle. What should the Seahawks do with Sam moving forward? I promise you, that is just how it works. That is just how it goes. But from my viewpoint, I cannot help it. Any Seahawks video that I make from now until it is time to actually watch the next season, the coming season, it still puts a smile on my face when I think about what they have been able to accomplish and what they have been able to win. Honestly, both Super Bowls, the last 2 Super Bowls, the Eagles and the Seahawks, still feel very surreal to me. Because of the way everything unfolded, and the way the conversations unfolded heading into the season and throughout the season. In years past, we knew the Chiefs. We knew Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. We even knew the 49ers, right? Those teams, even though they did not win the Super Bowl, had so much momentum and so much energy. Matthew Stafford and the Rams, right? It was like everyone essentially agreed. But the last 2 Super Bowl winners, the Eagles and the Seahawks, nobody was agreeing. Nobody saw it coming except for me. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you all think about the Seattle Seahawks? Sam Darnold? How do you feel about a nice little sound bite like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get some discussions going, get some debates happening, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you be part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we are really excited to be part of. I think we are well on our way to doing that. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.